If you sell anything online, this is my entire Facebook ad strategy that I use for myself and all 23 people in my private client group to make the most money possible on Facebook, okay? It's a lot easier than you probably think. When I run ads online, my main goal is to make it as easy as possible. I don't overcomplicate this because it's honestly the easiest part about the business. The only thing that we have to do when we're running ads is get the click. Anything else is just noise. And so if we're focused on getting the click, then it simplifies the process a lot more than a lot of people make it out to be. And this moved me from being in the dark and having to hire people to run my ads to being able to run my ads myself. Here's how I run ads, using Facebook's algorithm and using their AI so that I can just kind of sit back and relax. So when I'm running ads, I use 3 campaigns. That's it. 3 campaigns, and 2 of them, well, technically 4 campaigns, but running at the same time, I only use 3. Testing, control, goodwill, or retargeting. And the only reason that I say or retargeting is because Facebook is already going to do the retargeting for you. If you have a campaign that has 4 ads in it, somebody looks at the first ad, but they don't buy from it, Facebook is smart enough that they're going to retarget that person because they showed interest in it with another ad in that exact ad set in the exact campaign. They're that smart. And you're not going to have to do it. You're not going to have to put that work into it. They'll do it for you. But if you want to have retargeting, I'm going to share with you the exact strategy that I use for my clients who do. So here's my testing campaign. 4 campaigns for all of my testing. So each campaign that I run on Facebook, as far as testing goes, the only thing that I do in my testing is I test angles. So if I'm selling socks, then I might target, let's say, warmth on this one. Is the angle that I'm targeting on that. And then the second angle that I'm targeting is not warmth. Let's say it is comfort, okay? And then the third angle that I'm targeting is, let's say, texture. And then the fourth one is quality. They're long-lasting socks, okay? So let's say those are my 4 angles that I'm testing. Then I'm going to have the same style of ad on each campaign here. The only thing that I'm going to change is the wording. So I'll change the wording in the ads itself, like in the primary text box. I'll change the headline, things like that. But then in the actual image itself, it's going to be the same image if it's like just the socks with a blank background or something like that. But then the wording, if there's any wording on it, that might change a little bit. But most of the time, it's just going to be a photo of the socks to get somebody to stop scrolling, look at it, read it a little bit, and then they might scroll past or they might click. Doesn't matter. That's what we do to test. But all my testing, okay, all 4 of these things are going to be a dynamic testing ad. Okay? And so what dynamic testing ads are is a feature on Meta where you can essentially just upload as many images or videos that you want, and as many variations of text that you want, and then as many call to action buttons and headlines that you want, and then it spins them all together and gives you the ability to test hundreds of different combinations for the price of just 1 ad. Okay, and so I use dynamic testing on every single testing campaign that I do. And so all of those dynamic testing ads are going to go to the exact same audiences. 2 audiences for my testing. The first audience is a lookalike 1% stack. And so that is my first campaign here, or my first audience for my testing ads, okay? And then my second one is broad. The only thing that I change here is language, gender, location, or age. That's it. I don't touch anything else. Now, most of my clients are in the United States, okay? And so they will ship to Canada if you know they want, but most of them just want the USA, and that's enough for a lot of people. If you're only doing $250 a day, USA will probably be enough. Okay, if you're US based, which I'm assuming you are if you're watching this video. So USA, a lot of the times they'll do the top 4. If they're outside of that, people that I've worked with that want the whole world, that are doing like 10 grand a day, they'll do the top 4, which is the United States, United Kingdom, Australia, and Canada. Okay, the top 4 English-speaking countries in the world. All right, it's just really up to you. So essentially, the broad audience is just where you edit the language, gender, location, and age. You don't do any interests. You don't do any custom audiences. Nothing. So I have 4 campaigns here, and they look like this. And that campaign goes to 2 audiences, and those audiences are the ad sets. And then inside of those ad sets is where we have the actual ads themselves, where we have these different angles being tested. And so you remember it's a dynamic testing ad. So there's only one ad in the campaign, but we can have up to 10 different images, up to 5 different pieces of text, up to 5 different call to action buttons, and up to 5 different headlines. Okay? And so on those, it's just going to be, since it's just one ad, it's just going to look like this. Here's the structure of the campaign. But in the actual ad itself, I'm going to have 3 images, 1 video. Okay? So I have 3 images and 1 video on the ad, and inside of the ad itself that it's going to spin through. I'm not going to go to all 10. It's just a lot, and it's not really necessary. And then I have 2 primary text. And then I almost always use Shop Now or Learn More. So here's my entire testing strategy right here. So we have 4 different campaigns that we're going to run. Each campaign looks like this right here. It has the campaign, it has 2 ad sets in each campaign, and then there's 1 dynamic testing ad in each of the ad sets. So you essentially just duplicate the ad. So it's the exact same ad in both of them, but they just go to a different audience. Hope that makes sense, okay? So this is the testing strategy. Now let's move over to the next one, control. Right? Can't run the control campaign until after we're done with the testing campaign. So the goal of the testing campaign is obviously to tell us which ads perform best, right? Which combinations of these ads work best. So when we're done with this right here, we let this testing campaign go for as long as it's going to go until the results start to drop off. And that's going to be a while, because with this broad audience, what this broad audience does is this essentially just goes to everybody in these locations that you select that are in this gender and age restriction. And I usually just do both ages, by the way, because people buy for other people all the time. And I know they say like women buy the most stuff, but men influence purchasing decisions all the time. Women influence purchasing decisions they buy for each other. Like, there's no reason to not choose both, but you can choose both on this broad audience. Up to you. So if they're inside of the gender and location restriction, it's going to go to everybody. And so what this does is this is promoting the long-term growth of the brand through your ads, because this audience will never tire out. It's everybody that's possibly related to this audience and what you have to offer. And what this allows Facebook to do is target every single person in your audience and just find people for you. And so it's going to find everybody for you in the long term and consistently get you sales through this campaign. And this will never tire out, ever. These ads will never tire out. I have a campaign that's been running since late 2019 for one of my clients in a broad audience. Okay, there's literally one campaign, 4 different ads, and it's the majority of their business through Facebook. You know, like, it's never going to tire out because it's a broad audience. And so that allows Facebook to do what they do best. And the reason that this is so cheap is because every single time that you add any sort of targeting outside of these 4 things, any sort of targeting onto Facebook, you're going to pay a little bit of a premium to Facebook. So you're going to pay a tax for every single detailed interest that you add to your group. The smaller that you get your audiences, the more of a tax that you're going to pay to Facebook, because you're making their machine work harder. And so we don't want to pay that tax. And so that's why we use this broad audience and say, Facebook, I know you're smart. I know that your algorithm is smarter than me. You go ahead, you do your thing with this broad audience. And we just put these to everybody in the entire audience, and Facebook finds them for us. Okay, and it lets them do what they do best. It doesn't buck the system. It works with it and makes our ads, the customer acquisition cost, as cheap as possible. And then when we combine this with this lookalike 1% stack on the other side, having these 4 means that our audience is going to be like 8 to 10 million people, because each of these is about 2.5 million. And so when we do this, we say, okay, Facebook, these are the people that we are closely affiliated to. We're going to give you this one so that you find these people without having to pay that detailed interest targeting tax. But it's going to get those short-term results, but it's also going to play with this broad audience, because each of these things are going to create like a little ecosystem where they just ping off of each other. And so the people that are in our 1% lookalike stack are going to teach this broad audience the people that are the best, and it will train Facebook a little bit more while we're running both at the same time. But then this broad audience will work well, because if somebody really likes our product and they buy it from the broad audience, they go into the 1% lookalike stack of the purchasers, and it makes this audience better, and it increases the data on both. And that's why this works so well together, because this gets the short-term results, this gets the long-term results, and then they increase each other's data over the course of the long term. This gets you your short-term wins, but it also gives the broad audience data, and just vice versa. Okay, so that's why this is so crucial. And then once we're running this for as long as we want, until the results start to kind of fizzle out, because these dynamic testing ads can fizzle out a little bit more than the control ones, where they're just static ads, normal ads, like as we know. And that's why this control is necessary. Once the results start to fizzle out, we're going to go in here and we're going to look at the breakdown. And there's so many videos on YouTube. I don't have Facebook on me right now to pull up because I'm on my iPad. But if you go to YouTube, you can pull up like how to break down dynamic testing ads. Like, it's so easy. It's literally just one box you check. And so then you look at the breakdown and you look at which ads performed best and got you the most purchases or leads or whatever you do, whatever you sell, info products, regular products. And so then you look at which image did the best, and then you use that image, and then you do the same thing for the primary text, and you look at which primary text did the best, which one got the most purchases attributed to it, and then you pull that one out, and then you look at the CTA, and you're like, which CTA did the best, which got the most purchases, and then you choose that one, and then that's your ad. So if, let's say, ad image 1 did great, primary text number 2 did great, and then learn more did great. That's your final combination of the best assets, and then you're going to put them together, and that's what you'll get the most sales. And so once you've found those that work really well for you, then you're going to take those images and you're going to put them into your control campaign. And this is super easy. Like, the control campaign is the easiest part, because you literally are just taking things and putting them in a new campaign, because you've already done the hard work with testing here. So on the control campaign, we're going to take these best ads, these best combinations here, and we're going to put them into the control using the exact same type of campaign style as we had before. Okay, so if you remember, we had 4 different campaigns right here, all running different angles with different ads inside of them. 24 pieces that we tested in the total. And so then we'll find the best combinations of each of them in each campaign, and we'll pull out the best 2 ads in all of them. So the best 2 combinations that worked and were hitting our KPIs. If they were hitting your customer acquisition cost of, let's say, $5, and if there was an image in this one that was over $5 or under $5, and this one was under $5, this one had something under $5, then we'll pull the best images from each of them and we'll put them into these campaigns. But you have to make sure that the angle number 1, the things that work best in this one, stay together. You can't have the primary text from angle number 1 be paired with the images from angle number 2. Okay? So we're going to take all the best image and ad combinations right here, and we're going to move them into this control campaign. So that is the ad that we have here. And then we're going to duplicate that onto the broad audience. Okay? And I don't know how to copy and paste that, but you get the gist. A little messy in here, but you get the gist. Okay? So we're going to take the best ad combinations that worked well for us over here, and we're going to move those into this control campaign. That's it. And the exact same ads are going to be in this lookalike 1% stack, and they're going to be in this broad audience. So if there's 4 different ads, like you can see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, all 4 of those ads are going to be the exact same ads in this broad audience. So the lookalike stack and the broad audience are going to have the exact same ads running under the exact same control campaign. And then that's it. That's your control campaign, because then we get the benefit of the long-term and the short-term results, but we also get the benefit of having the best combinations of images, photos, or of images and videos and text and CTAs combined into the one ad, and we put those to market. And then these are control campaigns, so they're not dynamic testing ads. They're just control. They're regular, normal campaigns. And then that's going to go out and get us consistent results. This is why I have ads running for years on end, and I never have to look at them. I never have to, sit and nitpick them every single day inside of the account, because I know that they're consistently going to get me those results that I'm looking for, because I'm getting those long-term results and the short-term results, and I'm staying under my KPIs, and they're the best possible ads that I could be running. Okay? Final thing is our goodwill or our retargeting ads. Now, if you want to run retargeting, then you can. And like I said, I have some clients that I do retargeting for. These are super simple, so easy. All you have to do is literally one thing, and it lasts forever, okay? And I don't even put a lot of money behind this, because the main reason for this is that people are going to not purchase on the first time that they see the product. But people who have clicked are obviously sold on the thing that you're selling, and all that they need to do is see the product. If we have 4 different ads running to 2 different audiences, so 8 ads total, then and they see ad image number 1, then they don't buy, but they click on it, Facebook is going to recognize that, and then they're going to show them ad number 3, let's say, or ad number 4, and maybe they're sold from that angle instead. Okay, and so that's why we test all 4 angles in here and get the best ones from each of them and put them in the control. And so Facebook is going to do the retargeting for you on the control. But people who click on an ad that you put up are obviously interested in that thing. And the reason that they don't purchase is either they aren't sold at the moment, or they aren't in front of their credit card. It might be really late. They're scrolling, but they want to save that for later. They're in the car. They can't pull out their credit card right now. And there's a lot of different things that play in. I mean, these people aren't looking to buy when they go to Facebook. Okay? And so they're not immediately ready to pull their credit card out. So all that we have to do, because we know that they're sold on that thing, is show them the product again. And that's the main gist of the retargeting. So all that we're going to do is we're going to run what's called a dynamic product ad. And a dynamic product ad is kind of like the dynamic testing ads, where you upload something with a lot of different assets in it, and then Facebook delivers those out as they see fit to the people who click on those types of things or view that thing on your store, whatever it might be. Now, these are really good for people who sell products, physical products, on like Shopify or BigCommerce or WooCommerce or Magento or something like that. So if you sell anything on there, this is going to crush for you. And dynamic product ads are essentially where you upload your catalog from your store, all right? And you upload every single product that you have to Facebook, and then it's on that catalog, it's going to have like the tag of the URL on that catalog. And so when somebody goes to your site and they click on a certain product, and that URL is triggered, and you have the Facebook pixel on your website, which I'm assuming you do if you're watching this and you're running ads right now, you have that on your website, then it's going to trigger that URL, and then Facebook will show them the exact product using that same URL and just matching it, the exact product from your catalog to them using the dynamic product ad. Just automatically, just because you've uploaded your catalog there and you're running these dynamic product ads with like $10 a day behind them, $50 a day, whatever you want to do. And then you're putting that up there, and it's just showing them that product again in a different light, maybe putting a discount on it if you want to do that for like 2% or like 5% off, whatever you want to do. And then that's it. And that's the retargeting. You're just showing them that product again, maybe with an added benefit, but I would just show it to them again. And this is the cheapest way that you can get that retargeting that you're looking for, where it's just putting that product in front of somebody again. Okay? Let Facebook do the work on this. Do not overcomplicate this. Don't make your own retargeting ads that are like, oh, well, we need to address this thing right here. That should be done on your actual sales page. That should be done on your website. That should not be done on these ads themselves. The only goal of the ad is to get somebody to click to the web page so that then they can be sold on it. Then they can see the reviews. Then they can see the reason to buy. They can be persuaded on the page. The only thing that we're trying to do with the ads is get them to click on it and give them enough reason to click again or the first time. Okay? That's it. Makes it super simple. So then the final thing that we have to talk about is this goodwill ad. Goodwill ads are 3 different types of ads that we run for our store, okay? And this is for actually every brand that we have, every private client group every person in my private client group does this, and it crushes. And the reason why is because when Facebook came out with their meta ads library, it allows you to look at the ads that every single person in the world is running on Facebook. Anybody. If you're doing something well and you're running a lot and people see it, people are going to copy you. And there's just no way around that. Unfortunately, that's just how Facebook works. And so they can copy the images that you have, they can copy your style, they can copy the words that you put on your sales page, they can copy all of that. But what they cannot copy is the value that you put out into your marketplace. If you put out goodwill into your marketplace while you're trying to sell something, or you're actively trying to get people closer to you and you're just giving away good, solid value to your marketplace, then good things are going to come back to you. That's just how it works. And people are going to recognize you as the person to go to when they want to buy the thing that you're selling. So if you sell socks, if you're selling socks that are, the most comfortable possible sock and they're very warm and they last forever, you're an authority on socks. You have the expertise on socks that the 99% of the public doesn't have. And so you can start putting out goodwill content about the things that relate to your socks. Not your socks specifically, but the problems that the people in your marketplace are trying to solve. And so what these goodwill ads are is 3 different types. Now, all 3 of these types, you don't have to use all 3 of them. I really only use video views and reach, but you can do engagement. We've done it before for our clients who didn't want to be on video. So the video views, reach, and engagement ads are extremely cheap because you're not trying to get a sale with these. All that they are is just, hey Facebook, reach as many people with this ad as possible. Hey Facebook, try and get people who are going to engage with my ad and like it, comment, share on it. Send them this ad. Show this to them. The video views one, hey Facebook, put this in people's video feeds. And you're essentially just putting a little bit of money every single day behind some pieces of content that are really good value to the same people that you're targeting with your products. So they're going to see these, and then you're going to essentially create yourself kind of an invisible list of people who have engaged with your stuff, and then you're going to retarget them with all this stuff that you're trying to sell them. And that is the key. That is where these goodwill ads absolutely crush for us because they're so cheap. Like literally, I put like $5 a day behind each ad in here. So you can get away with doing like $30 a day if you have 2 of each of these things. Okay? It is that simple. So we're going to create extreme value with these ads. We're going to create image ads for our reach campaign and our engagement campaign, and then we're going to create video ads for the video views objective. Okay? And again, you can just do one. You can do both if you want, whatever you're better at. If you're a wordsmith and you like to write a lot, then do a reach ad and an engagement ad. If you like to make videos, then do a video views ad, an engagement ad, and a reach ad. Like, you don't have to do all of them, but I would recommend just doing one to start. Okay? If you don't want to do all of them. But if you do want to do all of them, go ahead, do all 3 of them. Go wild. It's like $30 a day. It's not that big of a deal. So on this here, we're going to create extreme value using our knowledge of our market. What is your target market struggling with? You need to create content that they're struggling with that solves a problem that they have or reaches out to them with some empathy or something like that. Get them to affiliate with you and like what you have to say, and don't try and sell them anything on these ads. These are just value. If you want to put your website on there, or like a link to your page, or a thing to like your page, you can certainly do that. But I would not recommend hard selling or pitching anything on these ads. And then we're going to run that to a hyper-targeted group of people. We're going to choose detailed interests on Facebook, and that's going to buck everything that I've been talking about here, especially with the premium that you pay for a tax, right? The little Facebook tax that you pay when you use that detailed targeting. But these are conversion ads. These are not. These are reach, engagement, and video views. We're not selling anything. We're just putting money behind content and putting it in front of people. And so this is so cheap. Like, it's so cheap. You can reach like 1,000 people for like $3 to $5. It's unbelievably simple and cost effective. So we can create a hyper targeted group of people, and it's still going to be like $10 to reach 1,000 people. Like, we can create that hyper targeted group, and that's what we want with this. And so then we create that hyper targeted group of like 100,000 people using detailed interest groups, and then these things right here, these segmenters as well. And then we essentially just own that audience. And we have 2 ads in the reach, so that's just reaching everybody and saturating that market. And then they're being retargeted with video views ads automatically by Facebook. And then they're being retargeted with these engagement ads automatically by Facebook. And they're just seeing your stuff all over the place. And that builds the goodwill that you have with that 100,000 group of people. And then they become some of your best customers, because then immediately, if they're engaging with you at all, if they're visiting your page, looking up your website, typing it in because they see it on the ad, doing anything with you, if they even stop on the ad, that's going to be counted as an engagement. If they look at it for like 2 or 3 seconds, that's an engagement. And they're going to be retargeted with all of these ads right here. And it makes everything work better. And it adds a top layer that your competition cannot copy. And it just increases the amount of value that you're putting into your marketplace that people are going to enjoy, that people are going to give you money for. And the more goodwill that you put into your marketplace, the more good that you're going to get back. And this is a really good long-term play because it's $30 a day. It's $900 a month. And that's an expense that I'm willing to take for my customers because I know that I'm going to get it back on the long term. Okay, and this is something that my competition cannot do. And it puts me ahead of them every single time. Okay, so this is my entire Facebook ad strategy, my entire meta ad strategy laid out as a whole. I know this was long and I appreciate you watching this video, but I hope this gave you some clarity and kind of an idea of how Facebook ads work and how to use the algorithm to your advantage so you don't have to do anything super difficult. So the next time somebody tells you, oh, Facebook ads is really hard, you need to pay me 10 grand to do it, you don't. Okay, this is so simple. It's very easy stuff. The hardest part about this is literally creating the ads. Once you've created the ads, the only goal here is to get a click. So once you've created the ads, just run it to these audiences and then you're good. That's it. Let Facebook take the wheel and do the rest. Okay, once you've done the ads, the only goal of the ad is to get somebody to click on it. So you just have to get their attention, show them where to click, run it to these audiences, and boom, you're done. After you've created the ads, it's literally just clicking buttons right here. You don't have to type anything in. It's awesome. Okay, Facebook is so simple to use. And if you can do this, if you can really get the most, bang for your buck by putting this out to market, then let me know. And then put these goodwill ads and get even more bang for your buck. And let me know how it works. I'm really excited to hear from you on this. Okay, I use this for every single person in my private client group and both of my personal brands, and I know that you're going to get a lot of good use out of it. So, hope that helped.